Switzerland has few natural resources, yet built one of Earth's richest societies. It has no seaport, little farmland, and mountains covering most of its territory. Its population is only about 9 million. Yet it became a global center for banking, pharmaceuticals, precision engineering, luxury watches, diplomacy, and research. Swiss salaries are high, but most residents still rent their homes. The country is neutral, but it maintains a militia army. It speaks 4 national languages, yet rarely faces the separatism that divides many multilingual states. So how did a small, divided, resource-poor country build one of the world's most stable and valuable systems? The first answer is geography, but not in the way most people expect. Switzerland sits between Germany, France, Italy, Austria, and Liechtenstein. It lies at the meeting point of Germanic, French, and Italian Europe, while major routes cross the Alps between northern and southern markets. That central position made Switzerland useful, but also vulnerable. For centuries, armies and empires moved around it, through it, or tried to control its mountain passes. The landscape is divided into 3 broad regions. The Alps dominate the south and center. The Jura Mountains form a smaller arc in the northwest. Between them lies the Swiss Plateau, where most people, factories, railways, and major cities are concentrated. The mountains limit construction and agriculture, but they also create natural defenses, water reserves, hydropower, and a tourism economy known worldwide. Switzerland is often called Europe's water tower because several major river systems begin in or near its mountains. The Rhine flows toward the North Sea. The Rhone travels west toward the Mediterranean. Then joins the Danube system. Alpine snow, glaciers, lakes, and rainfall feed communities far beyond Swiss borders. Water helped power early industry, while tunnels and railways later turned the Alps from a barrier into infrastructure. That transformation is a recurring Swiss pattern. A disadvantage is not removed. It is reorganized into value. The same principle appears in the country's political map. Switzerland has 26 cantons, and they retain wide authority over education, policing, taxation, and local administration. Power is shared among the federal government, the cantons, and thousands of communes. Citizens also vote frequently on laws and constitutional questions through referendums and popular initiatives. This can make decision-making slow, but slowness is sometimes the point. Swiss politics rewards negotiation, local consent, and compromise. Large changes are harder to impose from above, while minorities have more opportunities to block or reshape decisions. The system does not eliminate conflict. It makes conflict predictable. The national government is unusual as well. Executive power belongs to a 7-member federal council rather than a dominant president or prime minister. Its members govern collectively, while the presidency rotates and carries limited extra authority. That structure reduces political theater and makes continuity more important than one leader's personality. That matters because Switzerland is not culturally uniform. German, French, Italian, and Romansh are national languages. Most people live in German-speaking areas, but Western Switzerland is mainly French-speaking. Ticino is largely Italian-speaking, and Romansh survives in parts of Graubünden. Several cantons are officially bilingual, and Graubünden is trilingual. Many countries try to create unity by promoting one dominant language and one national story. Switzerland followed a different path. It allowed regional identities to remain strong. A person can feel deeply Genevan, Tissanese, Bernese, or from Graubünden while still belonging to the Confederation. Switzerland did not erase its differences. It built institutions that made those differences manageable. Even the capital reflects this refusal to create a single, overwhelming center. Switzerland has no official capital in the strict legal sense. Bern is the federal city and the seat of parliament and government, so it functions as the de facto capital. But Zurich dominates finance and business. Geneva represents diplomacy and international organizations. Basel leads in pharmaceuticals and life sciences. Lausanne is important in education and international sport. This division of roles prevents one city from absorbing the entire country. Switzerland is less like a wheel with one giant hub and more like a network of specialized nodes. Its political identity grew slowly. The traditional founding story begins in 1291, when 3 Alpine communities formed a defensive alliance. Other territories later joined, and the Confederation became known for disciplined infantry and strong local autonomy. Swiss forces defeated powerful rivals, but expansion eventually gave way to caution. The Peace of Westphalia in 1648 recognized Swiss independence from the Holy Roman Empire. In 1815, the great powers recognized Switzerland's permanent neutrality. Then, after a brief civil war, the Constitution of 1848 transformed a loose confederation into a modern federal state. Neutrality helped Switzerland avoid direct participation in the 2 world wars, but it has never meant moral isolation or complete political silence. Switzerland trades, negotiates, hosts international institutions, represents foreign interests, and sometimes adopts sanctions. After Russia's invasion of Ukraine, it aligned with European Union sanctions while arguing that this remained compatible with the law of neutrality.
都存在瑞士。这一说法虽然略显夸张，但无疑凸显了瑞士作为全球金融中心的重要地位。瑞士还是全球人均拥有黄金最多的国家，黄金储备量约为1040吨。在
free it from economic and political pressure. And neutrality does not mean defenselessness. Swiss men are generally required to perform military or alternative civilian service, while women may serve voluntarily. The armed forces are organized around a militia model. Most personnel live civilian lives and return periodically for training. The goal is not to project power abroad, but to make invasion costly and preserve national autonomy. This is why the image of an unarmed alpine sanctuary is misleading. Switzerland's security model combines diplomacy, difficult terrain, civil preparedness, wealth, and military deterrence. But none of this fully explains its prosperity. Banking made Switzerland famous, yet banking is only part of the story. Swiss finance grew from political stability, reliable courts, property protection, a strong currency, and expertise in managing wealth across borders. For clients facing unstable governments, war, inflation, or confiscation, Switzerland offered continuity. Banking secrecy strengthened that appeal, especially during the 20th century. But the old world of absolute secrecy is largely gone. International tax agreements, automatic information exchange, anti-money laundering rules, and pressure from foreign governments have made hidden offshore accounts far harder to maintain. Switzerland remains a major center for cross-border wealth management, but its advantage now depends more on service, expertise, and institutional trust than on anonymity. That trust is not indestructible. The crisis at Credit Suisse ended with its takeover by UBS in 2023, a dramatic rescue that prevented wider instability but also concentrated more power in a single banking group. The episode showed that even the Swiss financial system can suffer poor governance, risk failures, and loss of confidence. Another financial paradox appears in commodity trading. Switzerland has no major seaport and produces little oil, metal, or grain, yet it became one of the world's important trading centers for raw materials. Firms in Geneva, Zug, and Lugano coordinate contracts, finance, insurance, shipping, and risk across global supply chains. The physical cargo may never enter Switzerland. The value comes from controlling information and transactions. The deeper foundation of the economy lies outside the banks. Switzerland is expensive. Wages, land, and services cost too much for the country to compete by producing cheap goods in enormous quantities. So Swiss industry moved in the opposite direction. It specializes in products that are small, complex, branded, regulated, and difficult to replace. Pharmaceuticals and chemicals are central. Companies such as Roche and Novartis operate from Basel and sell high-value medicines worldwide. Precision machinery, medical devices, electrical engineering, laboratory instruments, and specialized industrial components follow the same logic. They require knowledge, quality control, and long-term research rather than low wages. Swiss watchmaking is the clearest symbol of this strategy. Switzerland does not need to manufacture the most watches. It captures value by dominating the luxury segment. A mechanical watch may contain little raw material, yet design, reputation, craftsmanship, and a label Swiss made can multiply its price. The product is not only a device that tells time, it is a portable piece of trust. Food brands use a similar formula. Nestle grew from Switzerland into one of the world's largest food companies. Swiss chocolate and cheese are not important because Switzerland produces the greatest volume. They matter because origin and quality have been turned into global brands. This high-value model depends on exports. The domestic market is too small to support such industries alone. Switzerland therefore needs open trade, skilled foreign workers, and access to European customers, even though it is not a member of the European Union. Its relationship with the EU is managed through a dense network of agreements, making political independence compatible with deep economic interdependence. That balance is profitable, but fragile. A strong Swiss franc protects purchasing power and signals confidence, yet it can make exports more expensive. Global recessions, trade barriers, drug pricing reforms, or financial shocks can hit an economy concentrated in a few highly successful sectors. Switzerland's wealth also creates one of its most surprising contradictions. Residents earn some of the world's highest salaries, and private wealth is enormous. Yet fewer than 4 in 10 households own the homes they live in. That is not simply because Swiss people cannot afford property. Housing is expensive, land is scarce, planning rules are strict, and mortgage lending is conservative. Buyers usually need substantial equity, and banks test whether borrowers could still afford repayments at interest rates higher than the current market rate. Tax rules and a mature rental sector also make long-term renting socially normal. In many countries, renting is treated as a temporary stage before adulthood or financial success. In Switzerland, a wealthy professional may rent for decades without seeing it as failure. This is a reminder that national wealth does not always look like suburban homeownership. High income also does not mean daily life feels cheap. Rent, childcare, restaurant meals, insurance premiums, and personal services can absorb a large share of earnings. A Swiss salary sounds extraordinary when converted into another currency, but that comparison ignores Swiss prices. Healthcare reveals the same mixture of wealth and personal responsibility. Switzerland has universal coverage, but medical care is not simply free. Residents must purchase compulsory basic health insurance. They pay monthly premiums, an annual deductible, and part of additional costs. Lower-income households may receive subsidies, but the system still expects individuals to carry a visible share of the expense. Education is more decentralized. Cantons organize public schooling, and compulsory public education is generally tuition-free. Switzerland is especially known for vocational education, where apprentices divide time between school and paid work. This creates a direct bridge between classrooms and employers and helps explain why technical skills remain strong. At the top of the system, institutions such as ETH Zurich and EPFL connect research with industry. Switzerland's innovation strength does not come from one invention or one famous scientist. It comes from a network linking universities, apprenticeships, patents, multinational companies, investors, and skilled migrants. Albert Einstein illustrates this environment. Born in Germany, he studied in Switzerland, became a Swiss citizen, and worked at the patent office in Bern. During that period, he produced his revolutionary papers of 1905. He later received the Nobel Prize for explaining the photoelectric effect, not specifically for relativity. The larger lesson is that Switzerland became good at attracting, training, and retaining knowledge. A quarter or more of its residents are foreign nationals, and many key industries depend on international talent. This makes the country global in practice, even when its politics can be cautious about immigration. Its cities reveal how this system works. Zurich combines finance, technology, higher education, and transport. Geneva hosts the United Nations Office, the World Health Organization, the World Trade Organization, and major humanitarian institutions. Basel sits on the Rhine and links pharmaceutical research with logistics and European trade. Bern manages the federal state without dominating it. Beyond the cities, the Alps produce another form of value. Lucerne, Interlaken, Zermatt, the Matterhorn, and the Jungfrau region transform difficult terrain into one of the world's strongest tourism brands. Railways climb slopes that once isolated communities. Car-free centers and tightly managed landscapes create an experience visitors are willing to pay for. But the mountains are now exposing Switzerland's next vulnerability. Temperatures are rising faster in the Alpine region than the global average. Glaciers are retreating, snow reliability is declining at lower elevations, and changes in water flow could affect tourism, ecosystems, hydropower, and communities below. The country also faces housing shortages, an aging population, high labor costs, and dependence on foreign workers. Its banking reputation has been damaged before. Its exporters rely heavily on external demand, and its political relationship with the European Union requires constant negotiation. This is where the Swiss model becomes harder to copy. Switzerland's success is not the result of one policy, one bank, one mountain, or one tax rate. It developed over centuries through local autonomy, institutional trust, external trade, selective openness, skilled labor, and the ability to charge more for quality. The real Swiss resource is not gold in a vault. It is not secrecy, chocolate, or snow. It is a system that repeatedly turns limits into leverage. Mountains became defense, water, transport, and tourism. Linguistic division became federal compromise. High costs forced industry toward precision. A small domestic market encouraged global exports. Neutrality became diplomatic access. Political slowness became predictability. Switzerland did not become rich by escaping geography. It became rich by learning how to use geography, institutions, and human skill better than almost anyone else. The question is whether that system can keep adapting as glaciers shrink, Europe becomes more divided, and global trust becomes harder to maintain. Is Switzerland's success a model other countries can copy, or the result of conditions that cannot be repeated? If you enjoy seeing countries beyond the stereotypes, subscribe to Geologic.